Welcome back to Indiana Diecast Racing and the continuing action of the Final Fantasy Fracas. Today we've got groups 75 and 76. From Arlo Racing, it's Cassie and Maddie driving Euphoria, a 65-gram Barbie Extra. Representing the last of 8 entries from Big Al's custom diecast, Dee Dee is driving Star Butterfly, an avant-garde weighing 57 grams. From the funkiest of Mother Chicken racing teams, Ironheart 54 will make what I think is his third and final attempt to get to round 2 in The Shadow, a 49-gram loop coupe. And, oh good lord, from none other than Rust Belt Diecast, Timon, yeah, that Timon, is at the helm of What's a Moto, a 57-gram road bandit. Cassie and Maddie start on the pole alongside Dee Dee. The ladies get good starts, Timon and now Ironheart lagging behind. Dee Dee grabs the lead and they all get spread out. Ironheart spins in the S, and I have no idea where Timon went. Dee Dee wins, Cassie and Maddie are second. Oh, and Ironheart stalls out at the top of the final straight by mistake. He has rolled exiting the turn. There's Timon on his side up in turn 2. Dee Dee wins one for Big Al's. They rotate around, Ironheart and Timon on the inside, Cassie and Maddie on the outside with Dee Dee behind. Dee Dee spins her tires, but the ladies again quickly pull ahead. It's looking like this group is going to be a bit of a mismatch. Cassie and Maddie lead this time, but Dee Dee's putting on the pressure. Coming to the line, Dee Dee dives and may have taken the win. Ironheart 54 claims third. Don't let this paint scheme fool you, Dee Dee is a competitor. Taking a closer look, yes, she just beats out Cassie and Maddie for the win. Arlo and Big Al's in position to close this one out next lap, unless Ironheart and Timon can figure out how to get top 2 finishes. Or, in Timon's case, find the finish line. Timon gets a nose ahead as the group stays packed together. Timon sliding, trying to block. Dee Dee gets around Ironheart, who nearly goes over the wall, and Dee Dee is wrecked. Timon slows and gets tapped by Ironheart, and I think they may have just kept themselves from being outright eliminated here on lap 3. Cassie and Maddie managed to roll across the line in reverse for 2 points, but points leader Dee Dee has ended lap 3 on her roof. Timon ran a really good lap this time, though Dee Dee gave a strong challenge in the square, to which Timon responded with a hip check into the infield. Whoa, and he actually rolls himself and then self-recovers just before Ironheart 54 catches up. The ladies tied up at 8, and while they're a long shot, the boys have a chance on lap 4. Dee Dee assumes the pole, a huge advantage here on the final lap. Paired up on the inside lane, the ladies make a mad dash out of the gate. Cassie and Maddie spin into Echo Base but don't seem to slow down. Timon is wrecked, but it's not going to matter as the ladies fly into round 2. Here comes Ironheart 54, who ekes across the line, but it's too little too late. Pink wins the day here in Group 75. On to Group 76, we've got another Rust Belt entry. Space Cadet Steve is in Slow Bullet, a 28-gram robo-raced robocar. Representing Down Squad Racing and a little tavern in Beantown, Diane Chambers is driving Patrick's Whip, a 36-gram Patrick. Oh, like Patrick Star from SpongeBob. From the white squad of Puffs Racing, Karate Joe joins us in Liquid Imagination, a 32-gram rev rod. And rounding out the group from MQH Racing, Ruby is driving Bubblegum, a 42-gram Twin Mill Gen E. Track maintenance crews appreciating the lighter vehicles today as Group 76 gets underway. It's a close race into 2, and Diane Chambers comes out in front. Joe catches some air and dives inside to overtake Ruby. Diane runs away with this one as Karate Joe passes Steve on the final straight to take second. Diane may have taken the lap, but the story of this one was Karate Joe driving from the back and risking a crash to pass Ruby as they enter the Savage Square, then taking advantage of a slow Space Cadet Steve in the final turn. Everyone knows her name after one. Karate Joe and Steve start lap 2 up front, Ruby and Diane in the back. An unusually high number of ladies driving today. Joe pulls ahead on the inside, Ruby not far behind. Joe whips through Echo Base. Ooh! Steve wrecks at high speed, saved from a long fall by the safety fence. Joe falls off the track as Diane runs into Ruby. The ladies will surprisingly go 1 and 2 after a shocking DNF by Karate Joe. Karate Joe expertly navigated the toughest part of the track, then Steve tries to cut too much off the inside of turn 4. We pan back to Joe. Wait, just in time to see him get shoved off the track by Ruby. I didn't think she had it in her. We're going to have to keep an eye on her going forward. That was kind of dirty. Diane extends her lead to 2, Ruby now in second. This ought to be good as Ruby and Joe start side by side this time, Diane and Steve in the back. Ruby picks up where she left off, but she spins on the coroplast. All kinds of spinning and smashing. Diane blocks while Ruby sails away. Joe is going to collect another DNF, and Diane and Steve will limp across the line for second and third. Ruby's spin after turn 2 allowed the field to group up, and whenever that happens, it often leads to chaos. Diane turns sideways and snowplows, slowing her, Steve, and Joe so much that Joe is pushed off the inside of the C-47 turn. Well, this one's over a lap early. We head back to lap 4 in the hopes that we'll get some more good chaos. Diane gets out front again, and there's a pileup. Joe gets pushed off. No, he's back on the track, but he and Steve spin out to finish their tournament parked on the track. Ruby gets loose and allows Diane to regain the lead, and this one will be a triple DNF. Diane and Ruby move on. So many drivers for round 2, we've had to break out the columns. And for back-to-back videos, no new wildcards. Congratulations to the all-female winners today, Diane Chambers, Dee Dee, Cassie and Maddie, and Ruby. This has been Jim D for Indiana Diecast Racing. Be sure to check in next time for more slightly above mediocre diecast racing and the continuing round 1 action of the Final Fantasy Fracas.